Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, hi, I'm Lisa, and in today's video we'll be drafting a basic bodice front pattern. So let's get into it. So right now I'm going to come down by ½ inch. This is not really compulsory, you can just draw a straight line, but for me I like to come down by ½ inch so that I will know where my line is starting from. So I'm just going to roll a straight line here. So this line is my shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to come down by my bust points, my waist, my front waist, and my blouse length. So I'm going to draw a straight line across. So I'm going to label this line my bust line, my waistline, and my hip line. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure, or we're going to mark out our basic neckline. So the basic neckline for the front is 3 by 3 inches. For the neck width, I'm going to go in here by 3 inches, and come 3 inches for the neck depth. So I'm going to use my curve rule, and I'm going to connect the lines like this. I'm going to connect it like this. I'm going to connect it like this. So yeah, this is it. So right next we're going to divide our shoulder measurements. Now to divide your shoulder measurement, you divide your shoulder measurements into 2. So my shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2 is 7. I marked 7 right here. I came down by 1 inch. Now this 1 inch will serve for our shoulder slope. So I'm going to just connect this shoulder slope to my neckline. So next thing, we're going to determine our armhole depth, and how I do this is that I divide my round bust measurement into 6. Whatever I have, I'm just going to mark out 6 here, and this 6 is going to serve as our chest line. So this is going to be our chest line. So the next thing we're going to do is, from that shoulder slope, you come down like a straight line to make that point that you marked earlier. So you carry your tape here, and whatever you get, of course I have 6, you fold your tape into equal halves to mark your midpoint here. Then you go out here ½ inch. Now on this round bust measurements, so you divide your round bust measurements into 4. Now I divided my round bust measurements into 4, and I have 7.75, which I'm going to mark right now. So 7.75, I marked it. So the next thing you're going to do is to carry your curved rule and connect all the points together like this. You have to do it very carefully so that you won't make a mistake. So I'm going to connect. You can use your free hand, but I prefer using a curve rule to do this. So I'm just going to connect it like this. And yeah, so this is it. So The next thing we're going to do is to determine our dart. So around this side, you're going to need your nipple to nipple measurement. That is your end to end. And my nipple to nipple measurement is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So on my bust line, I'm going to mark out 4 inches. On my waistline, I'm going to mark out 4 inches. And on my hemline or blouse length, I'm going to mark out 4 inches. So I'll just use my ruler and just connect all the points together like this. So this is going to be our dart. This is going to be our dart line. So on the waistline, I'm going to take in our dart, and that is 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So I'll place my tape. I'll place my tape on my waistline and mark out on both sides by 1/2 inch. Here and here. So you can see it's 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Now if you're someone if you're working for someone who is very bossy, like 40 to 50 upwards, you can use 3/4 of an inch on both sides or 1 inch, but for me I'm going to use 1/2 inch. So on my bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. On my waistline, I'm going to go down by 4 inches. So you just carry your ruler and just connect the lines together like a triangle. Just connect it like this to meet the points together. So this. Yeah, this is our dart. So the next thing we're going to do is to add our round bust measurement. So on the chest line, you marked your round bust divided by 4, which you marked right here, which I have 7.75. So I'm going to mark the same thing on my bust line. So I'm going to mark 7.75 and we'll move to the waistline. Now on the waistline, this is going to be different because we have a dart right here, and you don't want your blouse or outfit to be very, very tight. So what we are going to do is that I'll divide my round waist measurement, which is 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6, which I'll mark 6 here, but I'm not going to use this 6 because I have a dart. So I'm going to replace my dart by doing this. I'll place my tip here and measure whatever I have, and what I have here is 1 inch. Now I'm going to replace that 1 inch right here. I'm going to replace it right here. Then the next thing is our my round hip measurement. My round hip measurement is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. I'm going to mark out 8.5 right here. So yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to carry my ruler, and you have to watch what I do. I'm going to connect all the points together. So I'm going to connect all the points together like this. I'm going to connect it. And like this. Let's connect it like this. To give it a very good curl. Yeah, so yeah, so that's basically all about the front bodice. It's really easy, guys. So this is the front pattern. So yeah, what we're going to do now is to cut out this pattern with our ruler. So I'm going to cut it out. So that's basically all for the pattern drafting for the front pattern. So this is my front pattern. So next we are going to draft out our back pattern. So guys, for the back pattern is really similar to the front. So the only thing that is different from both patterns is the zipper area. So I'm going to come out here by 1.5 inch. I'm going to come in here by 1.5 inch. So I'm going to mark 1.5 here, 1.5 here, 1.5 here. So I'm going to draw a straight line right here. I'm just going to draw a straight line, and this line will serve as our zipper. This line will serve as a zipper line. So now, like I said, this is just the same thing. It's the same thing with our front pattern, but there are a lot of different stuff here. So I'm going to go in by my first point and my waistline and my hemline. So I'm just going to draw a straight line here. So make sure you label your lines, please. So the next thing is, yes, to divide our shoulder measurement like we did at the front. I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement. I'm sorry, I forgot to say, please, for the back pattern, you're not going to take your pattern from this angle, from here. You're not going to take your measurement from here. You're going to take your measurement from this line, this zipper line, please. Forgot to add that. So here I came in here by 7 inch as half of our shoulder measurement, and we are going to mark our neckline. So for the back neckline is really different. So you know the front is 3 by 3, but the back is 3 and 1.5 inch. So I'm going to come down by my neck line there by 1.5 inch here, then use my curve rule. I'll use my curve rule and connect. Connect the line. I'll use my curve rule and connect the lines together. So remember the same thing with the front. You're going to come down by your shoulder slope by 1 inch. You mark it. Then you carry your ruler and connect the 1 inch to your now our armhole there. Remember what we did at the front, so I'm just going to mark my armhole measurement here, and that line is going to form our chest line. I'm going to draw a straight line across. Draw a straight line. It's going to be our chest line. So I will draw a straight line like this. I don't know whether you guys are seeing. And connect to that point. Yeah. So it's just similar to the front. It's just similar to the front pattern. Divide it like this. 3 points come in here by half inch. Divide your round bust measurements into 4 and mark it. Use your curve rule to connect all the points together, and as you're doing this, please do it carefully so that you will not make any mistakes. So I'm going to connect. I'm sorry guys, my marker is just misbehaving. I'm going to connect all the points together like this. Now guys, remember when at the front pattern we took in our depth by the bust line? You started from the bust line, sorry, but for the back pattern we are going to start on the chest line. So like I said, divide your end-to-end measurements into 2. Mine is 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I'm going to mark it right here. Divided my end-to-end. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark here on my bust line. I'm going to mark it on my waistline. I'm going to mark it on my hemline or blouse line. Now remember, if you're taking measurement, don't go outside this line. Start from here. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect all the points I need together like this. Now, like I said, remember at the front we came in on both sides by ½ inch. So I was on that block. So I went in here by ½ inch. Now remember on our front, remember at our front we came down by 1 inch, but for our back we are going up by 1 inch. Then we'll come down in here by 4 inches. Then we are going to connect all the lines together like a triangle. I'm going to divide our round measurement, and like we did at the front. So we're just going to do the same thing at the back. So I just marked my round bust measurements, and remember you're going to replace your dart on your waist. So I marked it right here, and I marked my round hip divided by 4. So I'm going to carry my ruler. So I'll carry my ruler and just connect the lines together like this. So let's come. This is just to give it a curve. So guys, now on the neckline we're going to extend this line out like this. I'm going to extend that line out, and our hemline we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing right here. So yeah, so this is our back pattern. So we are going to cut this out. So there's one more thing I'm going to do. On the waistline, I'm going to extend this line out like this, and I'm going to come in here by ½ inch. So you carry your ruler and slant it up like this. Slant it up like this, and you slant it down. You give it a nice shape so that on the waistline, so you slant it down like this. So like I said, I'm doing this just to remove the bulginess around the zipper area. So that's why I'm doing this. So, and you have to do it, it's very important. So I'm going to slant it up like this. So that's basically all for the back pattern. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed this long, remember to like and subscribe and follow me for more of pattern drafting tutorials. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.